Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to beautiful Lake Highlands. Today's match between the Austin Huns and the DRFC promises to be an absolute belter, as both teams are coming off strong wins from last week. In the local Austin Derby match, the Huns bested their crosstown rivals, the Austin Blacks, with a resounding 39-17 victory. Meanwhile, Dallas traveled down to the armpit of Texas to play Houston at home. The rainy weather ended up slowing things down a bit, but in a hard-fought, close match, Dallas was able to eke out a 10-5 victory. I spoke with the Huns forward coach Brian Welburn yesterday about his team's focus for this week. He said the defense last week simply overpowered the Austin Blacks and wants that streak to continue today, adding that the Dallas set pieces are always tough and that his team trained extensively this week to be up to the challenge. Dallas head coach Stu Morrison says his team's main focus will be line speed today on both sides of the ball, patterns of play, and getting on attack, getting to the 5 phases of play. I also spoke with the big man Johnny Herron about where the boys' heads are at, and he says that the hard-fought victory in poor conditions last week gave the Dallas Rugby Football Club an extra shot of confidence going into this week. The goal for this cupless season, he says, is to finish out the schedule unbeaten. We've got a cracker of a match here, ladies and gentlemen, as both of these teams are undefeated on the season. Somebody will go home a loser today, ladies and gentlemen, and somebody will remain undefeated. Will it be the Dallas Rugby Football Club or the Austin Huns? We'll find out next. Your starting lineup for the Austin Huns: in the front row, Philip Hansen, Clive, Jamar Townsend will be your front row. Second row, JP Novak and Biff. Your flankers, Shamal Schoonemaker and Ricky Chestnut. Your 8-man, Patrick Coleman. Scrum half is Reese. Your fly half, Peter Warshup. Your wing, Brandon Johnson. Inside center, Cesar Escajeda. And your outside center, Corey Jones, is also the captain. The wing, Nicholas Kundarakis. And your fullback, Jacob Kropner. And the starting lineup for your Dallas Rugby Football Club is Simba, Pinky Andrew Stock, and Josh Squirrely Dan in your front row. You've got Big Mike at number 4 and Johnny Herron and captain at number 5. Juan Ruiz is your flanker, as well as Nathan Jones, and Dale Cheese Russ playing 8-man. Matty Young will be your scrum half. Blake Bolton fly half. Darrien Pipkins playing inside center. Isaiah Mafu playing at outside center. And Christian Soltz will be your wing. Ollie Benjamin, your other wing, and Blake Blaylock will be playing fullback today. The kickoff will be here shortly, and this match promises to be an absolute belter. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Austin will be kicking off to Dallas to start off. The boys on either side seem keen to go.
Give you a low interest loan to buy some game balls.
And we will wait for the ref to give the go-ahead for the start.
video, so you're gonna see everything that's going on because the videos.
Well, right now we're having some technical difficulties with the video, so I will have to do my best to give you an accurate description play by play. The kick is off, and Dallas drops the ball, but able to retain possession. Simba brings it down, but is brought out of bounds. And Austin will have their first line out of the game inside Dallas territory. Austin going with their typical 5-man line out. And the throw is up, it's straight. Austin brings it down. And here come the Huns. Dallas defense swarms. And here comes Austin swinging the ball to the right. The ball remains in bounds, but the Austin player was taken out. And the ball's going back left now. Here comes big number 8 on a across the field line. He was immediately met by Squirrely Dan. And the Dallas defense tackling furiously. And Dallas was asking for a penalty of their own, but ended up getting penalized. And here comes Austin. Austin knocking on the Dallas doorstep here early, challenging the Dallas defense. And Dallas is again penalized for not releasing. The Austin Huns now on the Dallas 5-meter line, bringing the ball up furiously. And an offload bounces in, and Dallas is again penalized for being offsides, or not for not releasing, excuse me. And Austin has a penalty here on the Dallas 5-meter line. And Austin will go with the safe option and kick for touch. Their line out will be right on the 5-meter line. Big number 8, Patrick Coleman, will throw the ball in here for Austin. The ball's up and goes over both heads. Dale Cheese gets the ball here, brings it up for Dallas, and Big Mike takes it now. Nice little offload to the inside here, and the Dallas ruck able to seal the ball off. Pinky bringing the ball into contact as Squirrely Dan seals it off. And here comes Dallas. Blake Bolton swings it out to Isaiah Mafu. Isaiah swings it back out. And Austin furiously defending, not wanting to let Dallas out of their own territory. And Big Johnny Heron crashes the ball forward. Simba here brings the ball up. Austin's line speed off their defense has just been impressive to start, not letting Dallas get anything going. And the kick blocked down, but it looks like the Austin Hun was offsides that charged that kick down. Dallas will have a penalty advantage here, just outside their 22. And it looks like we have a blood sub coming in here. And the kick was off. Here comes Austin from inside their own territory across midfield. An unlucky offload ends up back in Dallas's hands, and here's Dallas just across midfield. And a knock-on will bring it back for a scrum just inside of Dallas territory. And here comes the Dallas scrum here. The ball's fed into the scrum, and Dallas barely able to retain possession on there, and here comes Dallas across midfield. Big Mike comes in to seal off a ruck, but the Huns able to strip the ball out. They are now penalized for, it looks like there was some sort of infraction in the ruck there. I missed the call there. Sorry about that. And Dallas able to kick for touch, finally inside the Austin Huns territory. This will be the first time Dallas has been able to put the Austin defense under a little bit of pressure here. Let's see how Austin responds. Dallas going with a full line out, as Squirrely Dan will throw the ball in for Dallas. The lineout's up. It's good. Dallas opts to pick the ball down and drive, and here's the maul, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas on the front foot, surging forward. Dallas continuing to move forward, and the ball is finally brought down. Big Mike brought down. Pinky picks the ball up, able to get the ball spun out. And here comes Dallas on the wing. A nice little offload to Blake Bolton. Goes out to Blake Blaylock. The Huns furiously defending at their line here. And here comes Dallas surging through. And the Dallas forwards come up. Here comes Pinky. Pinky bringing the ball in. And Austin is penalized for diving off their feet. Dallas will have a quick tap penalty. Big Johnny Heron with the show and go brings the ball across for a Dallas try. And the first points of the game scored by your captain, Johnny Heron, with a beautiful little show and go. Dallas will have an easy conversion here under the post. Blake Blaylock will take the kick, and Dallas will retreat back to their territory to await the restart. And here's the kick from Blake Blaylock. It's up, and the signal's it's good. Dallas goes up 7-0 here early in the first half. Both sides having some success on either side of each other's territory there. Dallas able to edge out for the try there. And we will get set here for the restart. Some confusion on which ball we're going to be using here, as the first ball was apparently unsatisfactory, and they've finally found one, and we'll get restarted here. And here's the kick. The kick is up. It's a deep one. And almost dropped, but the kick is... The kick was caught there by Dallas. Dallas able to seal off a ruck, and here comes Squirrely Dan bringing the ball up for the Dallas forwards. And Blake Blaylock getting the offload there. Excuse me, not Blake Blaylock. Juan Ruiz getting the offload there, and the ball spun out to the right. And Ollie Benjamin stepping some tacklers and bringing a couple with him, finally gets forward and loses the ball.
Is Darrien now. Ben Ollie's number 11.
My apologies. That was Darrien Pipkins bringing the ball up and knocking the ball on as they apparently have switched jerseys. And Austin will have the put in on the scrum just inside the Dallas territory here. I think the ground is firming up a bit as it has been quite warm and the sun's been out here. Some of the moisture being allowed to evaporate off this very soft pitch. And Dallas on the front foot, churning forward as they blow out the Austin forward pack. And the Austin forwards are penalized. Cheese takes a quick tap. The ball is spun out. Austin scrambling in defense, and the Austin defender finally lets go of the ball and play is allowed to continue. Here comes Isaiah Mafu with taking the ball up, and Cheese with a nice little offload out to Simba. Simba comes rumbling forward with a nice little offload. Darrien has the ball now surging forward, and Dallas is deep in Austin territory. Big number 8 comes in crashing, but here comes Pinky. Pinky brings the ball up and is finally brought down. Here comes Dallas. Dallas spins the ball out to Blake. Isaiah Mafu runs over one tackle, but he's brought down for another. Johnny Heron comes to seal off the ruck. And here comes Blake Bolton with a nice little move and a drop out to the outside, and Ollie Benjamin brings the ball down for another Dallas try. Ben Ollie, excuse me. Dallas able to put that try down near the touch line, and it will be a rather complicated kick for conversion here, as Blake Blaylock will have to contend with a stiff northwest wind here. Let's see if he can convert this kick. And here comes Mr. Blaylock with the conversion attempt. And the kick is up, and he pulled that one just to the left. The conversion is no good. Score is now 12-0 Dallas. And the Huns, despite being pretty ferocious on their attack, have yet to produce anything on the scoreboard. And here's the restart. The kick is up, and Big Mike will bring that down and give it off to Isaiah Mafu. Isaiah comes crashing up, takes a couple of defenders with him, and Dallas is able to seal off the ruck. Here's Johnny Heron with the ball. Immediately met with 3 Austin defenders, and the ball spun out to Blake Blaylock. Blake Blaylock spins it out to Cheese. Cheese is immediately hit with the defender, and Isaiah kicks the ball into the Huns territory. The ball's dropped, and Dallas is going to be penalized for going after the man and not the ball there. Oh, excuse me, there was a knock on there, and that will be a put in for Dallas just inside Dallas territory, or just inside Austin territory. Dallas's scrum has been the better of the two as of now, but we'll see what Austin can put together here. Matty Young will have the put in here for Dallas. And here comes the put in. Dallas held this time in the scrum, and Matty Young will spin it out to Blake Bolton. Blake Bolton gives it to Isaiah Mafu, who loses the ball forward into a waiting defender's hands. And apparently there was a penalty there, and Austin opts to quick tap. Big number 8 comes crashing forward. He drops the ball, and Dallas will have a knock-on advantage there. Play continues, and Matty Young spins the ball out to Cheese. Cheese works it back into Squirrely Dan. Squirrely Dan works the ball up. Matty Young met with a defender, and Austin steals the ball, and a breakaway by Corey Jones brings the ball down for an Austin Huns try. The Austin defender was just in the right place at the right time, and he was able to steal that ball out of the air and didn't have much of any resistance in front of him, just open field. Dallas will look to regroup after that momentary lapse there, and your score is now 12-5 with awaiting a conversion kick here that should be relatively straightforward. It is into the wind. And the kick is up, and it's good. 12-7 now, as Dallas will look to kick the ball back for the restart. The line speed of this Huns team has been rather impressive, able to get to the Dallas offense before they can really get back to the gain line, and it's causing a little bit of confusion for Dallas. Blake Blaylock will have the kick for restart here. And here we go. We're underway. The ball's up. And Austin able to barely retain possession of the ball. They're immediately hit with defense. And the Dallas counter ruck able to steal the ball. Big Mike picks the ball up and is brought down. Matty Young spins the ball out. And Cheese is able to get in there and seal it off. Blake Bolton spins it out to Isaiah Mafu. Blake Blaylock now has it. Steps one defender. Offloads it outside to Darrien Pipkins, and Darrien's brought down there. And here comes Dallas. Big Johnny Herron gets the offload there and is met with immediate resistance from the Austin defense. And here comes Blake Bolton spinning the ball out to Cheese. Cheese knocking one defender on his rear, and Austin is penalized there. Looks like they might have been offsides, and Dallas choosing not to kick for points. And Matty Young brings the ball out of the ruck, and the ball is stolen out of the air again by the Austin defense. And Austin able to get the ball kicked away into the waiting arms of Blake Blaylock. And here comes Ben Ollie, who's getting pressure immediately from the Austin defense. And Blake Blaylock brings the ball up. Matty Young spins the ball out to Simba. Simba spins it out to Johnny Herron. Johnny Herron looks like he got an offload off to Squirrely Dan. And It looks like there was a knock on there, and we'll go back for a scrum. Austin will have the scrum put in here just inside their own territory. And looks like we have yet another blood sub coming off. And the referee waiting for the sub to take place here. Austin will have the put in. And the ref not happy with the stability there. He'll ask the boys to reset. And we'll get reset here again. This time we will have a put in, and Austin is on the back foot again as Dallas drives over the ball. Dallas able to steal the ball. Cheese picks up the ball and runs forward, and here comes Dallas. Big Mike takes it into traffic and bowls over an Austin defender. Matty Young able to get the ball out of the ruck, but some mishandling by Blake Bolton loses the ball forward to the awaiting arms of the Austin defense. And Dallas there penalized. Will have to retreat. Austin doing a good job of disrupting Dallas's phase of play and able to get this kick safely out of bounds. They'll have a line-out opportunity just inside Dallas territory. And big number 8, Patrick Coleman, will have the throw-in from touch here. And the ball's up. Dallas didn't seem to be ready for that one, and here comes Austin. And some sloppy ball handling will result in a knock-on and a Dallas put-in for the scrum. Let's see if the Austin forward pack can stop this otherwise dominant Dallas scrum here. Led by Simba, Pinky, and Squirrely Dan up in the front. And Matty Young with the put in here. And Dallas again on the front foot. Matty Young able to get the ball out of the back of the scrum. Offloads it to Isaiah on a straight line through. Isaiah makes it all the way down to about the 5-meter line, and here come the Reds crashing forward. And Dallas will have a penalty advantage. The Austin defender just diving over the ruck. And it looks like Dallas will opt to do a quick tap here just inside the 5-meter line. Here comes John Ruiz back in the game as he's had his injuries taken care of. And Matty Young will look to restart here for the penalty.
You should probably take the jerseys.
And it looks like Dallas is opting for a scrum, and why not? Their scrum has been the dominant one here in this first half. Matty Young will have the put in here just inside the 5-meter line of the Austin Huns. Can Austin scrum hold? And the boy's a little bit too eager there. The ref not happy with the stability. Again, the safety and health of the players being his key concern. And here we go with Matty Young with the Reds penalized there for an early push, lose the opportunity, and Austin momentarily is given the ball back, and they were saved from having to defend on their own doorstep. They'll kick the ball safely out of bounds, and we'll have a line out just outside their 22. You have to think that Dallas should have taken the kick there and took the points, being right in front of the goalpost, but they obviously thought they had the advantage for the scrum. Big Mike comes up with the line out there and is swarmed by Austin defense. Matty Young offloads to Big Johnny Herron. Johnny Herron working the ball forward, and the Dallas Ruck able to retain possession. Blake Bolton offloads to Isaiah. Isaiah's group tackled and spits the ball out forward, and we will reset. I guess both teams knocked it on there. First knocked on by Austin, then knocked on by Dallas, and
First knock on was by Dallas.
so the first knock on was actually by Dallas there, and the second knock on by the Huns. So the Huns will have the scrum put in here just inside of their 10-meter line. Dallas was able to steal the last scrum from the Huns. Let's see if the Huns scrum holding strong there. Big number 8 brings the ball off to the side and is immediately tackled. And Dallas penalized for not releasing. Big number 8 brings the ball forward again. The ball's stripped out of his hands, but Dallas penalized again for not releasing. Blake Bolton shaken up on the play. He'll take a second to catch his breath there, and hopefully he's all right. And he gets up. Just a little niggle there. So the Huns will have the opportunity to kick from touch from just inside their Dallas territory, and the ball will safely land out of bounds for a Huns lineout. And the Huns now have an opportunity here inside Dallas territory. Let's see what they can do with it. Big number 8, Patrick Coleman, will again throw in for the Austin Huns, who go with the full line out. Austin able to retain possession, spin the ball out. And Austin knocking over one defender. He's got one man to beat, and Austin puts it down for another try here. So the score will be tied at momentarily 12. This will be a relatively straightforward conversion attempt for the Huns, and the Huns should be going ahead here. And the conversion attempt will be attempted by Reese, the scrum half. And this will determine whether the Huns can go ahead or not. The kick is up, and the flags go up. The Huns do take the lead, and we have a 14-12 game now, ladies and gentlemen. You really have to go back and think that Dallas really should have kicked for the penalty kick there and converted for 3 points instead of opting for a scrum. You never want to give up an easy scoring opportunity like that. And Blake Blaylock will line up to kick the ball back to Austin. Austin now having scored 2 unanswered tries. The kick is up, and Patrick Coleman receives it for the Huns. The Huns spin it out left. And the Huns on the front foot break through the first line of defense. And Dallas scrambling back to get in place. Patrick Coleman again shreds through the Dallas defense and is on the front foot. A nice little offload. And there's a scramble for the ball. And Dallas will be penalized for not releasing the tackle there. Dallas continuing to make mistakes inside their own half, and it's costing them. And it looks like we have an injury on the field. And the medical staff going out there to check out guys. Look at the beautiful sight over there on the sidelines. We've got our club president and Big John Holman in the Dallas Hawaiian setup. And the kick there rolled straight out of bounds, out of touch, and we'll go back to a scrum down here at around the Reds' 10-meter line. Matty Young will have the put in here. And the ref not happy with the stability of that scrum. Will reset for another. And it looks like we've got some activity on the Huns sidelines. They're wanting to bring in a sub. The ref will not allow the sub in before this scrum. He'll have to wait. And there we go. We've got engagement. Matty Young feeds the scrum. And Dallas able to maintain possession. Blake Bolton offloads to Isaiah Mafu. Isaiah tackled. And Blake Bolton spins it out to Blake Blaylock. Blake Blaylock's immediately met with defense as Austin continues to be very aggressive and tenacious with their defense, meeting the Dallas offense before they can get to the gain line. Dallas able to get a maul going forward, but it looks like Austin stole the ball there, and the ball was knocked forward by Dallas. Austin will have the scrum here right at the Dallas 10-meter line. The last few scrums have been neutral as Austin finally finding an answer. And they'll have the put in here. just inside Dallas territory. And Dallas pushing the Austin Huns forward pack back. And the penalty is called on Austin there. Blake Blaylock will kick for touch here. Apparently the Austin scrum was penalized for bringing down the scrum. And the ball safely finds touch just inside the Austin 10-meter line. And Dallas will have the line out here. Squirrely Dan will be tossing the ball in for Dallas. And Dallas opts to go with a 5-man lineout setup. And the ball's up, overthrown and not straight. But Austin was offsides there, it looks like, and Dallas gets the penalty advantage. Johnny Herron, a little bit too eager, was off the mark, and the Reds will have yet another opportunity to kick for touch. And the ball safely found touch just outside of the Austin 5-meter line. The Dallas Rugby Football Club knocking on the doorstep here of the Austin Huns. Dallas going with a full setup, and they'll bring it down for a maul, but didn't quite make it into the maul. Dallas now bringing the ball up. Austin trying to defend, and here comes Dallas. A quick little pickup there out of the back of the ruck, and here comes Johnny Herron moving forward. He'll dive forward and put the ball down for a try. That's his second try of the day. That's Captain Johnny Herron putting down another Dallas try. Dallas will go up 17-14. And the lead again changes hands here late in the first half. Blake Blaylock will attempt to convert this kick from about 30 meters out. Here comes the kick. It is up. It is just curved to the left, and it will be no good. The score remains 17-14 in favor of the Dallas Rugby Football Club. Apparently they're calling that kick good, so Dallas goes up 19-14. The touch judges having a better view of the uprights than we do over here on the sideline decide that kick was in fact good. And here we go for the restart. Austin kicking the ball back to Dallas. A high kick. Tapped by Johnny Herron and then eventually knocked back by the Austin Huns. Austin is able to regain possession off that restart. And Austin now on the front foot here. And a nice little offload to the outside. A sidestep gets away from Squirrely Dan. And rumbling and bumbling, the Austin Huns end up knocking the ball on just outside, or just inside the Dallas 22. Dallas will have a scrum here. Matty Young with the put in here for the scrum. And Dallas able to maintain possession, and at the end of the half, Matty Young kicks the ball out to send the Dallas Rugby Football Club in for the half, up 19-14. It's been a closely contested game here in the first half, and both sides will look to make some adjustments on this to see what they can put together for the second half. We'll be returning here shortly after a quick commercial break. Welcome back to beautiful Lake Highlands Field for the second half of this clash between the top of the table Dallas Rugby Football Club and Austin Huns. Currently, Dallas is leading 19-14. The lead has changed hands twice, and we'll see what adjustments these two teams have made at halftime. Dallas will be kicking off to the Huns in the second half. And I have to say that the defense on both sides has been quite tenacious and impressive. But specifically, the Austin defense has been very effective at meeting the Dallas offense before they can get to the game line, and it's causing a bit of confusion. The breakaways have really been the difference here for the Huns, and Dallas will get set to kick the ball back here. And there we go, we're off, started for the second half. Austin brings the ball down, and the ruck seals the ball off for the Huns. And the Huns will spin the ball out and kick the ball out of their territory. Big Mike is back. It bounces over his head, and he chases it down. Got some pressure, but the defenders are unable to bring him down. He does a little side offload to Darrien Pipkins. Darrien is brought down near the sideline and is penalized for not releasing the ball. Austin quick taps and spins the ball out to big number 8. Big Mike takes him down, and Austin here knocking on Dallas's doorstep early in the second half. Some good teamwork there between the two Dallas defenders, are able to bring down the Austin attack, and it looks like we will come back for the ref having a word with Johnny Herron to have a word with his team, and Austin has the ball now right in front of the post. Let's see what they choose to do. And it looks like they're going to go with a quick tap here, and they do. Here comes Austin. Austin leveled by a Dallas defender and able to maintain possession though. And here comes Austin. Dallas furiously defending. Austin bringing the ball up. Happy to do pick and goes here on the Dallas doorstep. And yet another ruck. Inching forward is the Austin offense. Dallas doing a tenacious job of defending on their doorstep. And they've got some confusion there on the ground, but Austin does look like they will have yet another penalty advantage here. Nope, it was a knock on, and we'll have a scrum down here. Dallas scrum will attempt to defend on their 5-meter line. And the ref not happy with the stability there. He'll have them reset. And here comes the put in from the Austin scrum half, Reese, the engagement, and the feed goes in, and the ball bounces out the side. Austin gets the penalty advantage. Apparently Dallas collapsed that scrum, and Austin will have penalty advantage right at the Dallas 5-meter line. A quick tap here from Austin, and they'll try to break through this Dallas defense. And number 9 chooses to take it himself. Immediately hit, brought to the ground. And Austin will pick and go. Big number 8, Patrick Coleman, brings it forward and puts it down for a try. The Austin Huns now go ahead, tie up the game 19-19, and the conversion attempt will determine whether we stay tied or, again, the lead will change hands. The Dallas defense was put under pressure immediately there, and then back-to-back penalties are never a good thing whenever you're inside your own 5-meter line. Number 9, Reese, will attempt this conversion. And the kick is up. And it is good, and Austin goes ahead 21-19. And the lead again changes hands, and Dallas will look to kick the ball back to Austin here. And Dallas will need to come up with some sort of answer for this Austin Huns offense that has been on the front foot here for the last 5 or so minutes. Blake Blaylock sets to reset the kick, and it's up. Austin brings it down, immediately spins the ball out to the right, and here comes Austin. Some nifty little handiwork there, and Austin able to get the ball up to midfield. Dallas scrambling to get back on defense as Austin lines up to bring the ball forward again. Big Philip Hansen bringing the ball across for the Huns. And Austin crashes into Dallas territory. Johnny Heron with a tackle there. And the ball spun out to the wing. Darrien Pipkins takes a misstep and misses a tackle. Here comes number 21 of Austin, and a nice offload misses its target, but the support runner picks it up. And Austin is again knocking on Dallas's doorstep. Can Dallas hold? Dallas scrambling to get numbers across to the field. And Simba with a nice little tackle. Austin crashes the ball up. Dallas defense holds solid for now. Austin looking to pick and go here. Dallas defense stuffs it again. And Dallas is again penalized on their own doorstep. This is just simply not good. You cannot have multiple penalties on your own doorstep. It's just gives the other team so much opportunity here. And Austin now will choose to kick for goal here and add 3 points to their narrow lead. Number 9, Reese, will take this attempt right in front of the post. And the kick is up. It's good. And that will bring the score to 24-19 in favor of the Austin Huns. Dallas will get set to kick the ball back. Dallas continuing to make mistakes on their own doorstep, and it's costing them dearly. The last 10 points have come from penalties that were just simply unforced errors on Dallas. And Blake Blaylock will get set to kick the ball back to Austin. And here comes the restart. The ball is high, just inside the 10-meter line, and Austin able to bring it down. Dallas sets its defense line, and here comes Austin. The Austin forwards crashes the ball up, and Isaiah Mafu shoots forward and misses the tackle. Here comes Austin across into Dallas territory, and an offload is knocked forward, and Dallas will luckily get possession through a knock-on advantage. The Dallas defense there gave way to the Austin attack due to a man shooting up and creating a hole in the defensive line, and that allowed for Austin to cross into Dallas territory. But an unlucky offload lands us in a scrummage situation with the Dallas put in. And here comes the engagement. Matty Young with the put in. And a neutral scrum there. Dallas maintains possession. Blake Bolton kicks the ball deep into Huns territory, and here come the Huns. Darrien Pipkins has a defender lined up, but the kick is Austin able to kick the ball forward and safely into touch. Dallas will opt to go for a quick line out, but the ref says no. And the Reds, the Dallas Rugby Football Club, will have a line out on their own doorstep. They'll want to secure this. Oh, quick tap by Johnny Herron. Apparently there was a penalty down there. And here comes Pinky crashing forward. Here comes the Dallas offense. Big Mike comes in, and he's immediately swarmed by the Austin offense, who holds him up. Dallas able to successfully ruck the ball. Matty Young brings the ball into contact, and the 8-man is not rolling away, getting in the way of the ball restart, but the ref says play on. And Isaiah Mafu now brings the ball up, smashing through one defender. Here he comes. At midfield, he's brought down, and here comes Dallas on the counterattack. Blake Bolton to take the ball off the back of this ruck. Feeds the ball outside to John Reese. And Matty Young will distribute it out to Johnny Herron. Johnny Herron crashes the ball up. Big Mike able to seal the ruck off, and it's back to Blake Bolton. Cheese gets the ball, but it's immediately hit by an Austin defender. Austin continues to tenaciously defend that gain line, but Dallas is surging forward here. Here comes Pinky on the front foot. Simba able to clear out a defender, and Johnny Herron able to get the ball out to Darrien Pipkins. Darrien Pipkins with a nice little offload to Squirrely Dan. Squirrely Dan bumbling forward, and here comes Big Mike. Dallas on the attack. Can Darren get some support over there? Yes, Squirrely Dan does, in fact, get in there to seal off the ruck. Here comes Johnny Herron. Here comes Dallas, ladies and gentlemen. Matty Young spins the ball out to Blake Bolton. Blake Bolton spins it to Blake Blaylock. Blake Blaylock spins it out to the wing. And Dallas momentarily knocking on the doorstep of Austin. A nice little offload from Blake Bolton there. And here comes Simba crashing the ball forward, taking a couple defenders with him. The Dallas forward's able to do the work there, and we'll come back, it looks like, for a penalty advantage here. And for a change of events here, now Dallas having the penalty advantage deep inside the Huns territory. And Blake Blaylock will kick for touch here. And the Dallas will have a 5-meter throw-in opportunity, line-out opportunity, and they will probably look to bring the ball down and get a maul going. Will the Austin Huns engage? Squirrely Dan with the put-in. Dallas able to retain possession. Blake gets the ball out to Cheese. Cheese on the front foot. Here comes Cheese in for a diving try and able to put the ball down for Dallas. And Dallas goes ahead. Excuse me. Dallas ties the ball game up at 24 and will await the conversion here. Will there be another change of lead here? Should be a relatively straightforward conversion kick as Cheese was able to put the ball down in front of the post. And Blake Blaylock will attempt the conversion here to put the Dallas Rugby Football Club in front by 2 points. And the kick is up and it's good. And Dallas goes ahead 26-24 and the lead again changes hands. This has been a hotly contested match and wildly entertaining. I'm happy to be here calling it for you. And thank you so much for tuning in today and supporting your local club. Dallas gets set to receive the ball from the Austin Huns. And we're getting into the last 20 minutes of the game here.
Time, Phil. Philip. Time. 17.
And the kick is up. Big Mike there to receive. Immediately hit with an Austin defender. And Dallas able to seal the ball off. And here comes Squirrely Dan. Squirrely Dan brings the ball up. And Matty Young distributes the ball out. Some mishandling, but Dallas able to retain possession. The Austin defense swarming at the moment. And here comes Simba bringing the ball up. Johnny Herron with a nice little offload to Big Mike, and the ball is knocked out. It went forward, says the ref, and the Huns have a knock-on advantage. And here come the Huns. And Big Mike and Johnny group tackle a Hun. And the Huns able to somehow maintain possession, spin the ball out to big number 8, Patrick Coleman. And here come the Huns. Dallas defense tenaciously defending there, but we'll go back for that earlier knock-on advantage, and Austin will have the put in here right in front of the uprights, just outside the Dallas 22.
Jack Needle. Extend. Big time, baby.
And here comes the Austins put into the scrum. And Austin collapsing the scrum, but the ref happy to play on here. Dallas defending down near their 5. Austin asking questions of the defense now. Can Dallas respond? And Dallas is again penalized for a high tackle. And it is around the same spot that they keep getting penalized, right around their 5-meter line. The Huns go quick tap. Big Patrick Coleman brings it up. He somehow managed to power his way through the Dallas defense and puts it down for a Huns try. The Huns regain the lead, 29-26, and we've had 4 lead changes here in this game. Cheese was shaken up on that last little sequence of events there and looks to just be stretching it out. This has been an exciting game, having so many lead changes here back and forth. It looks like whoever's going to have the ball last might be the one that takes this game. The kick is up and it's no good, so the score remains 29-26 as the Huns nurse a 3-point lead here halfway through the second half. Dallas gets set to kick the ball back to the Huns here. Blake Blaylock on the kick. And the kick is up. And Dallas immediately meets the Austin Huns there, and some sloppy ball handling, but the Austin maintains possession, and a high tackle on number 23 for Austin will be a penalty advantage, and it looks like the refs want to have a talk. To be fair, it's hard to tackle a little guy without getting a high tackle if you're a big guy. But we'll see what the result of this will be. And the ref is showing Pinky a yellow card, and Dallas, who are down right now, go down a player. And let's see if the remaining 14 on the field can keep them in the game while they're down a man. Austin kicks for touch, and we'll have a line out here just outside the 22. Patrick Coleman will throw the ball in for the Huns, and Huns able to retain possession, and here they go. The kick is up, and Blake Blaylock back to field it. And he offloads to Juan Rees. And the ball is stripped, and apparently went out of bounds, and Austin will have another line out on the opposite side of the field. The Huns going with a 5-man line out. The ball's up, and they're able to maintain possession. Here come the Huns on the attack. Dallas able to stuff that attack, and the ball is knocked forward by an Austin Hun, and Dallas will have a scrum put in here. And we're having an emergency front row sub as the hooker, Pinky, is currently serving his sin bin sentence. And Cheese will come off the field momentarily for this front row sub. The Dallas team now playing down a man have the scrum put in here. And the ball's fed into the scrum, and Austin able to get the Huns on the back foot, but Dallas comes up with the ball. A furious fight for the ball there, and Dallas brings the ball up. Squirrely Dan able to bring the ball just inside midfield, and Johnny Heron tackled just before he could get across the line there. The Austin defense is doing a good job of attacking Dallas behind the line, and it is disrupting play quite a bit. And a knock on there will, a forward pass will give the Austin Huns the advantage on this scrum. Dallas again playing down a man, so their scrum is understaffed. And the Huns will have to put in here in the scrum. And the scrum immediately goes to the ground, but Austin able to get the ball out the back. Dallas able to strip the ball and knock the ball forward again. We'll have another scrum. That's 3 scrums in quick succession here. And the forward pack, no doubt, getting a little gassed here as they are playing down a man. Austin will have the put in here. And here comes the engagement, the feed, and the Huns able to inch forward. Here come the Huns on attack just inside their own half, and an offload, mistimed offload, knocks the ball forward, and we'll have yet another scrum with the Dallas put in. The Huns moving some men around here and subbing someone out. And Dallas will have the put in here, a man down in their scrum. And here comes the put in. And Dallas able to retain possession. Here comes Blake Bolton across midfield. He's tackled. The ball spins out. And the ball just going back and forth up to midfield. Not gaining much meters here, but Dallas continuing on the attack. And an offload to Squirrely Dan. Squirrely Dan knocks over an Austin defender. And Dallas on the front foot at the moment. Here comes Blake Blaylock. He's brought to the ground just inside of Austin territory. And Juan Ruiz brings the ball up. The Austin defense has just been stuffing any attempt from Dallas to get the ball forward, and Dallas just continues to move backwards. Simba offloads to Johnny Herron, and Johnny's immediately hit with an Austin defender. And Dallas spins the ball out wide. Dallas finally back into Austin territory, and Blake Bolton gets the ball off to Johnny Herron. Finally, a little forward movement from the Dallas offense. Oh, and a lucky offload is picked up by Squirrely Dan. Blake Blaylock brings it up the side, and Darrien Pipkins is brought to the ground just inside the touchline. Dallas working feverishly to get forward here, and Squirrely Dan moves the ball up. Dallas now on the front foot here, doing the hard work, a man down. And here comes Simba.
Where's that? Come on, Drew. There it is. Yes. Yes.
And the referee finally sees fit to penalize Austin for a high tackle, and Dallas on the front foot. Here comes Blake Bolton. Blake Bolton offloads. Dallas knocking on the doorstep now. Here's Squirrely Dan. And here comes Johnny Herron. Dallas is down to the Austin 5-meter line. Dallas asking questions here, and Dallas gets the answer. Dallas puts it down for a try, and Dallas will take the lead 31-29, awaiting a conversion kick. Apparently there was no try given, and Dallas will have a penalty opportunity here about 5 meters out.
What the fuck? That was a try. He called the try, and then he walked back.
So the ref apparently called the try first, and he's going to reverse himself again. So apparently that is a Dallas try. I'm sorry, we are going, Dallas is going for points. A little confusion there, as the initial call was a try, and then he changed his mind and decided that it wasn't. This kick will tie the game at 29 if Mr. Blaylock can
TMO, I got the replay.
push it over. Dallas now back at full strength as Pinky comes back into the game. The kick is up, it's good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tied at 29. What a game. Going into the final 15 minutes of the second half here. It's anybody's game for the taking.
Let's go, Dallas!
Austin will get set to kick the ball back here to Dallas.
5 minutes, 5 minutes. Let's finish.
I'm being told that there's 5 minutes left in the game, and it's going to be a furious battle here in the last 5 minutes. Dallas, as I said, is now back at full strength. And here comes Dallas. Ben Ollie bringing the ball up. He is not held in the tackle. He got back up and is immediately hit with a defender. And Dallas will try to work the ball out of their half here. Blake Bolton works it out to Blake Blaylock. Dallas works it out to the wing, and here comes Dallas. Johnny Herron able to get there and seal off a ruck. Blake Bolton dishes the ball out to Squirrely Dan. Squirrely Dan to Simba. Simba gets it out to... Oh, and Ben Ollie kicks the ball into touch. And it looks like we're going back for an Austin lineout as the ball went straight out of bounds.
Just lost the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. We just had some technical difficulties and, of course, missed some key action. Dallas was able to bring the ball in and score a try and converted. The score is now 36-29 in favor of the Dallas Rugby Football Club. This should be the last phase of play here, as there was about 5 minutes ago. And Austin now kicks back to Dallas to restart. And the ball is bobbled by Dallas, and it is a knock-on. Austin will have a scrum here. pressure is on Austin here. They must score a try and convert to bring this back to a level score here. Right now we're trying to get our camera back up and running. I apologize. And Austin Scrum retains possession. Big Patrick Coleman spins the ball out right. Dallas furiously defending down on their own goal line, and Dallas, the Huns spinning the ball out left. They've got an overlap. Here come the Huns. Oh, and a furious tackle dislodges the ball into Darrien Pipkins' arms. The Reds regained possession. And Johnny Herron bringing the ball up. Dallas will want to maintain possession as long as they can here. And here comes Pinky bringing the ball up. The forward's doing the work right now to maintain the ball for Dallas. Here comes Squirrely Dan. The key here is to be slow and steady, not try to do anything fancy, and here the boys go. Dallas spins the ball out left. And Juan Ruiz brings the ball forward, or excuse me, Ben Ollie brings the ball forward and is brought out of bounds. Austin chooses to go quick with the line out, and here comes Austin on the counterattack. Austin's coming forward fast. And Johnny Herron with a crunching hit dislodges the ball. Pinky is able to recover, and here comes Dallas. Oh, and Simba breaks the line, but the ball is stripped, and now Austin recovers the ball. Simba was shaken up on that play. He remains on the ground, but play continues, and Austin continues to surge forward. The ball spins out left. A nice little offload, but it's dropped. And the play is stopped due to a forward pass, but Dallas will retain possession and have the put-in the scrum here in the closing minutes of this second half. Can Dallas hold on to their 7-point lead? And Dallas will have the put-in here in this scrum. Here's the engagement, the put in, and Austin on the front foot drives the Dallas scrum back, but they are penalized, and Dallas will have the penalty advantage here. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the game. Dallas comes through at the end, 36-29, and remains undefeated on the season. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. We apologize about the technical difficulties. This is still a new broadcast, and we strive to get better every week. I will see you next time. For now, saying goodbye from Lake Highlands, this is Chris Hopkins, and so long and farewell.